this was just a shit show. And I apologize to every streamer that or every single public figure that I pressured. And I'm sorry to them.
MrBeast pressuring people into donating to Team Water, which is a great cause. But at the end of the day, let's be honest, chat. If Team Water raises, whatever, like $100 million, who gets the credit for it, bro?
What if one of the biggest names on the internet is suddenly facing questions from the very creators who helped make his events go viral? Because that is exactly what is happening right now. A growing number of streamers are speaking out about their experiences with MrBeast's massive charity streams and creator events, and the debate is getting louder by the day. Jinxie, Kai Cenat, Adin Ross, Stable Ronaldo, and others have all found themselves pulled into a conversation about donations, sponsorships, exposure, and who really benefits when millions of viewers tune in. Some people believe these events create incredible real-world impact and deserve praise. Others argue that there is a deeper discussion happening about pressure, recognition, and the value creators bring behind the scenes. So what is really going on, and why are so many people suddenly talking about it? In this video, we're breaking down the reactions, the criticism, the responses, and the controversy that has the streaming world buzzing right now.
MrBeast pressuring people into donating to Team Water, which is a great cause. But at the end of the day, let's be honest, chat. If Team Water raises, whatever, like $100 million, who gets the credit for it, bro? Who's gonna make the tweet and say, oh, this is Team Water and we raised this amount of money? Who gets all the credit for this, chat? MrBeast. Exactly. So basically, we're all donating. He's getting all the credit, but we're all getting pressured into donating in front of, hundreds of thousands of people. When you combine all the streams, you're talking 200,000 people are watching this live. But that's all this stream is, bro. This is one of the, this stream was just excruciating, bro.
The man.
And every time somebody would join the call, bro, it was just like...
Now pay attention, because this part is important. From what's been shared, Jinxie reportedly donated a massive $100,000 to Team Water. That's a huge amount of money, no matter how you look at it. So when people started coming at him, some quickly pushed back with comments like, well, you still donated to a good cause, thinking that would put the whole debate to rest. But that is not how things played out at all. A lot of people kept arguing that everyone involved deserved recognition, and that the final result was what mattered most. They focused on the positive outcome and tried to ease the criticism. MrBeast was one of the people making that point, and to understand the situation fully, it helps to look at exactly what he said. According to his statement, we were streaming in front of hundreds of thousands of people, and the clips got millions of views, so they did get credit. He continued by saying, regardless, I don't feel bad for asking multi-millionaires publicly to help people drinking dirt water, get access to clean water so they can live longer. But that response did not connect with everyone the way it may have been intended to. Instead of calming the discussion down, many people felt it added even more attention to the controversy and gave critics another reason to keep talking about it. Now, when it comes to Jinxie, a lot of people have been throwing criticism his way, but supporters argue that he has reasons for speaking up. From their perspective, he is standing firm on what he believes happened and is not backing away from his position. On top of that, there is another situation that reportedly left a strong impression on him during a visit to the FaZe house, and many believe that experience adds another layer to why he is being so vocal about all of this right now.
Because this was so long ago, but the reason why I was just upset was again, this is 2 years, almost 2 years ago, but it's if let's say somebody came to my house, a guest, for example, Queso or Sketch came to my house, I would if I had a sponsored thing I was doing at a certain time, I would make sure that's not the date that they're coming. So when I found out about that, I was like, wait, what? Because the plan was just to do 24 hours of IRL, because I never do IRL, but that was the plan. And then 5 hours in, I just heard about that, and it's well, I mean, you just kind of feel like no one really cares.
For a lot of people, this really comes down to basic respect and common decency more than anything else. What Jinxie appears to be saying is, hey look, I showed up to this FaZe situation, fully understanding the environment before he even walked in. He knows not everyone there is necessarily a close friend. Some people may be cool with him, while others may not be. But one thing he seems confident about is the value he brings whenever he appears on a stream. He knows that when a large creator joins a major broadcast, attention usually increases and audiences tend to show up in bigger numbers. That is not a knock on FaZe at all. because they have a massive audience of their own and can pull strong viewership without outside help. But when well-known creators team up, the numbers often climb even higher, and that has been a common trend across the internet for years. In a way, it is an interesting contrast to the music world, where collaborations do not always outperform solo projects, even when huge names are involved. But in streaming and online content, the situation is often very different. When major creators team up, the attention usually grows far beyond what each person might bring individually, and Jinxie clearly understands that. So when he says something fell off, supporters argue that it is not coming out of nowhere. From his perspective, he saw the situation unfold in real time and felt uncomfortable with how it was handled. He is essentially saying, "They are using my presence while running a sponsored segment, while he was not involved in that sponsorship arrangement financially." That is where the concern starts to hit harder for some people. The issue, as it has been described, is the feeling that his appearance may have helped increase attention around a sponsored promotion without him sharing in that business relationship. At the same time, he has made it clear that he is not trying to single out specific people personally. His criticism appears to be aimed more at the overall setup and how the situation was organized. According to his view, if he had a sponsorship attached to a stream or event, he would approach it differently. He would likely handle the sponsored portion first and then properly introduce guests afterward, allowing that segment to focus on them instead of combining everything together. What also stands out to many viewers is the work Jinxie has been doing with tournaments and creator events. From the outside, some of these projects do not even appear to be heavily driven by sponsorships. He brings together a long list of streamers, builds excitement around the competition, and helps create opportunities for creators to be seen by new audiences. That is a significant move in the content space. Beyond the views and numbers, these events can help creators connect with one another, form new relationships, and potentially set up future collaborations. For many participants, the value goes beyond a single stream and can lead to long-term networking opportunities that continue well after the event ends. That kind of environment can be a big deal for content creators. Many streamers spend countless hours live, constantly creating content and trying to keep up with the fast pace of the online world. There is often pressure to stay active and maintain momentum, so opportunities to step away, meet new people, and build genuine connections can be limited. That is one reason some viewers appreciate what Jinxie is trying to create with these events and tournaments. From that perspective, he is helping build a space where creators can connect, collaborate, and expand beyond their usual circles. For many people watching, that value goes far beyond simple view counts or short-term attention. It is about opening doors and creating opportunities that might not happen otherwise. That is also why some people connect this discussion back to MrBeast. While MrBeast was a major part of the event, there were also many other creators involved in making the stream what it was. At the center of the debate is the fact that Team Water was the sponsor, and critics argue that the sponsorship aspect is important context. What has some people talking is the way the situation is being framed. According to those critics, it can come across as though everything happened entirely through MrBeast's platform, with creators simply appearing on his stream. That interpretation is what has led some viewers to question how credit, contributions, and recognition were presented in the broader conversation. Now, this is the point many people keep bringing up. The argument is that the huge viewership was not driven by just one creator alone. The stream featured major names like Adin Ross, XQC, Logan Paul, Jinxie, and several other well-known personalities, all sharing the spotlight at the same time. When that many large creators come together, massive numbers are usually expected, and that is a big reason the audience was so high. Because of that, some viewers feel uncomfortable with any suggestion that the success came from only one side. Most people agree that MrBeast attracts enormous attention on his own, and nobody is really disputing that. At the same time, supporters of the other creators argue that everyone involved contributed significant value to the event. In their view, the stream reached that level because multiple influential creators brought their audiences together, creating a much larger combined impact. Then, there is the separate discussion surrounding Team Water and how recognition for contributions was handled, which quickly became a major talking point. Things escalated fast. Kai Cenat, for example, received heavy criticism from some viewers over not making a donation, and that reaction highlighted a broader issue. It showed how quickly online audiences can place expectations on creators and pressure them to contribute publicly. The complicated part is that many viewers assume every streamer appearing on a major broadcast is extremely wealthy, but the reality is often far more complicated than that. Some viewers point out that not every creator is operating at the same financial level. While creators like Adin Ross or XQC are often viewed as being in a different category financially, others may not have access to the same level of resources, even if audiences assume they do. Because of that, many people argue that it is risky to make broad assumptions about what any individual creator can or should contribute. Another factor is the pressure that can build during a massive live event. When a charity campaign is taking place in front of a huge audience, expectations can rise quickly. Some viewers may start feeling like every creator on screen is being encouraged to participate publicly, and that kind of attention can create a challenging dynamic. The discussion can shift from supporting a cause to focusing on who donated, how much they gave, and whether it was enough. That is where reactions can become complicated. People start making comparisons and questioning donation amounts rather than keeping the focus on the overall goal. Even jokes and casual comments can add to the conversation. For example, when DDG mentioned contributing $10,000, some viewers responded with humor because of the larger-than-life image he has built online. In situations like that, audience expectations can become part of the story, with some people assuming that creators known for success or luxury should automatically make bigger public contributions. That expectation, fair or not, is often what sparks debate. When creators build a reputation around showing off success or living a flashy lifestyle, some viewers naturally expect big public gestures when charity events come around. If those expectations are not met, criticism can follow quickly. That is one reason some people choose not to participate publicly at all, avoiding the extra attention and scrutiny that can come with it. Supporters of Kai often point to that approach as an example of staying away from a situation that could easily become a distraction. Now, this connects directly to the conversation about Streamer University because it highlights an interesting point. When most people think about that event, the first name that comes to mind is Kai. That is usually the person audiences associate with organizing it and bringing everyone together. What is interesting, though, is that the event also had major sponsors involved. Companies like T-Mobile and State Farm reportedly played significant roles behind the scenes. Yet when people look back on the event, those sponsor names are often not the first thing they remember. Instead, audiences tend to remember the creators, the streams, the interactions, and the memorable moments that happened throughout the event. They remember the collaborations, the networking, and the exposure creators received from being part of it. For many viewers, those experiences became the lasting story, while the sponsors faded into the background of the overall memory. Some people have argued that Kai's event gave off a different kind of charitable atmosphere compared to the MrBeast stream situation. According to those viewers, the focus felt more centered on the overall experience and community involvement. On the other hand, some critics of the MrBeast stream felt that the public attention surrounding donations became a major part of the conversation. Of course, those are personal interpretations, and different viewers came away with different impressions of what happened. The discussion gained even more traction when Adin Ross, who was part of the same broader streaming community, publicly commented on Kai multiple times. Those remarks brought additional attention to the debate and sparked more reactions from viewers across social media. At one point, some people even stepped in to defend Kai, questioning why he kept getting pulled into the conversation and suggesting the criticism was becoming excessive. Eventually, Adin Ross apologized for those comments and appeared to back away from the issue, which helped cool down at least part of the public discussion.
This was just a show. And I apologize to every streamer that or every single public figure that I pressured. And I'm sorry to them. And Jimmy, I will apologize to you if you show the proof of the water. It's been almost a year, and I've said this. You don't even have to do it to me. Do it for the people that are saying it's fake, where the water. Please. I've spoken to many people. That's it. That's it. You could shut everybody the fuck up by doing that. I'm sorry to the people that got pressured. I'm sorry about that. Everybody. I was in the wrong. Looking back, I was in the wrong, and I'm taking accountability fully. I'm not folding. No. I'm apologizing to people that I pressured from my network to donate, because that's not right.
So Adin Ross ended up becoming part of this conversation too, and the situation has led a lot of people to look more closely at where things stand between him and MrBeast right now. From the perspective of some viewers, there appears to be distance between the two, and that has only fueled more discussion online. When MrBeast brought together a large group of creators for one of his major YouTube projects, it was a huge production with plenty of well-known names involved. However, critics have pointed out that Adin Ross was not included in that particular lineup, despite previously spending significant time participating in efforts connected to MrBeast's charitable goals. That detail has become a talking point for people who feel certain contributors were overlooked. Adin and XQC both spent a considerable amount of time supporting those efforts, and later, Adin suggested that some aspects of the situation did not sit right with him. According to his comments, he felt there were unresolved questions and wanted more clarity about what happened. Rather than making accusations, he appeared to be asking for explanations and updates regarding issues that remained unclear to him. Supporters often compare that situation to other online debates where audiences continue asking creators for follow-up information or proof about past claims. Once those questions enter the public conversation, they tend to stick around and resurface repeatedly, creating additional pressure for everyone involved. From Adin's point of view, as he has described it, his motivation was straightforward. He believed he was contributing to a charitable effort and helping support a positive cause. In his telling, there was no hidden agenda behind his involvement. He simply thought it was the right thing to do at the time and wanted to help however he could. From the perspective of some critics, the main point is that Adin Ross does not appear to have received any direct personal benefit from his involvement, while the Team Water campaign remained closely associated with MrBeast's brand and public image. That perception has led people to look more closely at how everything connects and who ultimately received the most visibility from the project. The discussion has also expanded beyond streaming and donations because MrBeast's business reach has grown far beyond YouTube. Supporters and critics alike often point to the scale of his ventures as evidence that he now operates in a very different space than most online creators. For example, there have been reports of MrBeast branded attractions and experiences appearing in international markets, including locations in Saudi Arabia. Whether those projects are temporary activations or part of larger long-term plans, many people see them as signs of how widely the brand has expanded across the globe. On top of that, Feast products are sold in multiple countries, making the business visible far beyond the creator economy. Walk into certain stores around the world, and you can find those products on shelves alongside major consumer brands. Because of that growth, many observers no longer view MrBeast as just a content creator. They see a large business operation with global reach and influence. That shift in scale is important to the conversation. When someone is operating at that level, interacting with major companies, investors, and international partners, people naturally start viewing situations like these through a much broader lens than they would for a typical streamer or online personality. Quick shout out to Mark Robber as well. According to some critics, once discussions move into major business and corporate environments, the focus is often less about individual creators and more about overall results, branding, and large-scale impact. In those settings, the conversation may center on figures, campaigns, and organizational achievements rather than the specific personalities who participated along the way. That is where some people see an imbalance. Their argument is that when a project becomes closely associated with a single brand or organization, the contributions of other creators can feel less visible in the broader narrative. From that perspective, they believe the attention generated by multiple creators helped strengthen the campaign, while the public recognition remained heavily connected to the MrBeast brand. Critics often describe this as an uneven exchange. They argue that participating creators may have invested significant time, effort, and audience attention into the project without necessarily receiving the same level of long-term visibility or business value in return. Meanwhile, they believe MrBeast's organization benefits from both the charitable impact and the increased brand recognition that comes from leading large-scale initiatives. Supporters of that view also point out that successful fundraising campaigns can become part of a larger track record, helping demonstrate credibility for future partnerships, projects, and international opportunities. Whether people agree with that interpretation or not, it is one of the key arguments fueling the debate around the situation right now. That is the point many critics keep coming back to. They argue that large, successful charity campaigns can strengthen the public image of a major brand, making it appear even more attractive to future partners, sponsors, and business opportunities. From that perspective, every high-profile success story helps reinforce the idea of a polished organization that consistently delivers results and generates positive attention. At the same time, some viewers question what participating streamers gain in return. They ask whether appearing in these events leads to meaningful audience growth, stronger platforms, or long-term benefits for the creators involved. Critics often argue that the public conversation quickly shifts away from the creators themselves and focuses almost entirely on donation amounts or expectations. In those cases, they feel the creators receive limited lasting value despite contributing their time, attention, and audiences to the event. Because of that, some people have developed the perception that the exchange is uneven. They believe the organization leading the campaign receives most of the long-term recognition, while the participating creators are left with relatively little direct benefit. Whether that view is accurate or not, it has become a recurring theme in the debate. The discussion also extends beyond content creators. Some commentators have claimed that MrBeast has publicly challenged or encouraged other high-profile individuals, including wealthy business figures, to participate in charitable efforts. Supporters see that as using influence to raise awareness for important causes, while critics view it as applying public pressure. That difference in interpretation is part of what keeps the conversation going. Another major streamer who weighed in on the broader discussion was Stable Ronaldo, adding yet another voice to an already heated debate.
The difference between asking millionaires for donations and then asking I'll give a perfect example. You asked Rug to donate. Rug said he'll donate 10K. You said it wasn't enough, so you made him donate more. That shit is fucking weird. I agree with what Jinxie's saying. You guys put me in a group chat and I said, yeah, I'll donate. And then you guys asked me, how much do you want to donate? I said, oh, I don't remember how much I said when they finally got me in the call, but they wanted me to donate like $100,000 to $150,000. And then you also literally had a stream with Aiden Ross and XQC. And then I think you didn't, yeah, I donated $50. And it was awesome, bro. I gave 50 years of free water. And then he also, did he not like never hit Aiden Ross about like, he took like all, like, I don't know.
There you go. That is another example that people keep pointing to when discussing this situation. The concern some viewers raise is that even when someone is willing to donate, the conversation can quickly shift away from the act of giving and toward comparing donation amounts. Suddenly, the focus is no longer on supporting the cause, but on questions like who gave more or why did this person donate less? And once that comparison starts, things can get messy very quickly. From the outside looking in, critics argue that these moments can begin to resemble a scoreboard, where creators are judged against one another based on public donation totals rather than their overall support for the cause. That strikes a nerve for some people because many streamers already operate in an environment where public perception plays a huge role in their careers and reputations. That is where the conversation circles back to MrBeast and his role in all of this, which is the question many people continue debating. One of the main points people bring up is the scale involved. MrBeast is known for producing extremely large projects, and the amounts of money featured in those productions are often far beyond what most creators could realistically put on the line. Because of that, some viewers argue that the financial risk looks very different from his perspective than it would for the average streamer. Then you have the format itself. Major creators come together, participate in challenges, help create content, and in some cases compete for prizes or opportunities that can benefit their communities. When the final stages happen live, the stakes feel even higher because every reaction, decision, and outcome unfolds in front of a massive audience watching in real time. That dynamic naturally generates huge attention. Millions of viewers may tune in specifically because so many recognizable creators are involved at once. As a result, a debate emerges over what each participant gains from being there. Some people argue that the exposure alone provides value and helps creators reach new audiences. Others believe the creators contribute significant entertainment and attention, while the biggest long-term benefit flows back to the final YouTube video and the main brand behind it. That disagreement is at the center of much of the discussion. At the same time, many observers point out that the situation is not entirely one-sided. They argue there are areas where both the participating creators and the production itself receive meaningful benefits, which is why the conversation remains so divided. If you are a streamer, appearing in a MrBeast video alongside several other major creators can absolutely provide value. It puts your name and content in front of a massive audience that may not normally watch you, and that kind of exposure is something many creators consider valuable. At the same time, there is another side to the equation. Participating in a large production often requires creators to step away from their regular schedules. During that period, they may not be streaming on their own channels or creating the content that normally generates income and engagement for their audiences. So while the event may cover logistics and provide visibility, there is still a time commitment involved. Another factor people mention is that the central focus of these events is often the competition, charitable goal, or community outcome, rather than direct payouts to participants. The format is usually built around benefiting communities, audiences, or selected winners rather than rewarding every creator involved. Then comes the live finale, which is where the conversation often heats up. When the event is streamed live on MrBeast's platform, audiences from many different creators may tune in at once to support their favorites and see how everything unfolds. That can result in enormous viewership numbers, creating one of the biggest moments of the entire event and adding another layer to the ongoing debate about who benefits most from the arrangement. And to be fair, many people agree that the final stage of these events can be extremely entertaining. It creates memorable moments, generates excitement, and can produce real benefits for those involved. Winners often receive a major boost in visibility. Their communities can see increased engagement, and some creators experience significant growth in followers or subscribers after participating. From that standpoint, many viewers would consider the event a success. The debate starts when people discuss where that value is actually coming from. Critics argue that the success is not solely tied to one individual or platform. Instead, they point to the combined influence of all the participating creators, each bringing their own audience, attention, and energy into the event. In their view, the massive engagement is the result of many different communities coming together at once. Some observers also note that creators can influence one another during these events, whether through friendly competition, audience expectations, or conversations around participation and donations. Those dynamics can become part of the entertainment and help keep viewers invested throughout the stream. The criticism, however, is that despite so many people contributing to the momentum, the final narrative and public recognition often remain heavily connected to the central platform and brand hosting the event. That perception is what continues to fuel discussion across the community. Meanwhile, the conversation is still gaining traction online because Stable Ronaldo has weighed in as well. His comments have sparked a fresh wave of reactions, with viewers analyzing clips, debating his perspective, and using his remarks to revisit larger questions about charity streams, creator expectations, and whether some participants feel more pressure than they publicly acknowledge. The comment sections are absolutely blowing up right now, with viewers split across every side of the debate. People are arguing non-stop about what is fair, what is not, and where the line should be drawn when it comes to charity events involving major creators. At the center of the discussion is this idea of a donation leaderboard, where every contribution instantly becomes something people compare. Some viewers believe that public donation tracking can make charitable giving feel more like a competition than an act of support. Others argue that visibility creates excitement, encourages participation, and helps drive more attention toward the cause. That disagreement is a huge reason the conversation keeps growing. No matter which side people take, many agree that it can place creators in a difficult position. Once donations become public, every amount is open to scrutiny, praise, criticism, and comparison in real time. Suddenly, the focus is not only on giving, it is also on how that giving is perceived by millions of viewers watching from the sidelines. That is where the large attention comes from. These events combine entertainment, fundraising, audience engagement, and brand building all at the same time. Critics argue that the structure can benefit the central brand the most, while supporters point to the real money raised and the awareness generated for important causes. One thing is clear: the streaming world is paying close attention. More creators are sharing their opinions, audiences are analyzing every clip and reaction, and this conversation does not look like it is fading anytime soon. In that live stream format tied to the YouTube video, MrBeast brought together some of the biggest creators on the internet, and their combined audiences helped drive enormous viewership numbers. With so many major personalities reacting and participating in real time, the event generated constant attention and kept viewers engaged throughout the broadcast. On top of that, the production itself reportedly involved a huge financial commitment, including a prize pool worth over $1 million, along with significant production expenses. From a business perspective, some observers view that as a major investment designed to create a large-scale event capable of attracting massive interest and attention. That is where the discussion around value exchange comes in. Many people argue that creators absolutely benefit from appearing in a MrBeast production. They gain exposure, reach new audiences, generate clips that spread across social media, and get associated with some of the most recognizable names in online entertainment. At the same time, critics point out that participation also comes with trade-offs. Creators are often spending hours away from their own channels and regular content schedules, which can mean missing out on potential revenue and engagement from their usual streams. Another point raised is that while the events may raise money for communities, charities, or winners, the participating creators are not typically the direct recipients of those funds. That reality adds another layer to the ongoing debate about how benefits are distributed and whether the exchange feels balanced to everyone involved. At the end of the day, people are looking at this situation from completely different angles. Some viewers believe Jinxie and other creators are raising valid concerns about the pressure that can build around donations and public participation. Others argue that these events still generate significant real-world results, raise awareness, and bring resources to important causes, making them successful collaborations overall. What is clear is that the debate is not fading anytime soon. More creators are weighing in, more clips are spreading across social media, and every new reaction seems to spark another round of discussion. One stream can quickly turn into a platform-wide conversation as viewers analyze every comment, every decision, and every moment from a different perspective. That is why this story keeps growing, because each clip gets shared, debated, and reinterpreted almost instantly, keeping the discussion alive long after the stream itself has ended.